Hey everybody, this is Bob, and we've just received a new blog and dev talk relating to the Endgame mode in Black Ops 7. To start with, the blog basically reconfirms what we knew about this, which is that it's a co-op campaign mode that is filled with challenges where JSOC continues their incursions into Avalon following the conclusion of the first 11 missions. Now, let's listen to the dev talk for a bit.
Endgame isn't just the conclusion of the story, it's the start of a new chapter. Once you've completed the story, Avalon opens up, gives you the freedom to explore, take on challenges at your own pace, but the city is tough.
So Avalon is this massive space, and we want you and your friends to continue to come back here and achieve different goals. So we wanted to continue the campaign in a replayable way.
So you can play in-game solo or in squads of up to 4, and then you'll drop into instances of Avalon with up to 32 players.
Once you've unlocked Endgame, you can bring friends in with you, even if they haven't unlocked it yet, by being the party leader.
You can play as one of the main heroes from the campaign, or you can select a new operator and level them up with skills and abilities as you work towards your end goal.
We have intel to discover and some secrets even to uncover inside Avalon.
There are 4 zones of difficulty, and uncovering deeper mysteries will test how strong your operator is. Endgame is about discovery, progression, and carving out your own path in Avalon.
This map is really special. The team's been working on it for a really long time. They've designed it to be a cohesive space, but it is absolutely massive. So we have tons of POIs from previous games, tons for multiplayer. We have maps from Black Ops 2, Black Ops 4, and Black Ops 6. You might even find a little piece of Hazard from Black Ops 1. Some of them you'll experience just as they were, in slightly new ways, and then some of them served as inspiration for totally new spaces.
So what is a match from start to finish in Endgame? It all starts with picking the abilities. This is the moment you're going to decide how you want to play.
One of my favorite abilities is Shadow Break, and it's kind of this area of effect clear. If you have like a bunch of enemies that are shooting at you, you can kind of combo that with like a grapple hook and like close the distance, and then immediately use this, and it will warp all of the enemies out of the area and send them into the sky and killing them all.
You'll drop in through the wingsuit and go anywhere within Avalon that you've been experiencing throughout different parts of the campaign.
As you're flying in with either solo or with your squad over Avalon, we start to propagate points of interest all around you. So that specifically you can just ping and go. No need for a tac map. You can see what it is that's around you that you might want to go, and that's shared with your squad. So once you've decided where you want to go, you land, boots on the ground, and the gameplay really starts to kick off. Fights, any kind of combat encounter, activities, assignments, all of these start to translate into building power. That power is registered through your combat rating.
Every time you increase that combat rating, you're presented with a simple choice of, would I like this skill or this skill? And those skills are really kind of defining your roles and your play styles that you prefer as a player. You're kind of crafting this curated operator that you really love to play. In Endgame, the ultimate goal is to get to Zone 4. And combat rating and the power journey is building towards that. So as you're playing, you're leveling up your combat rating, you're hitting these kind of core milestones at certain levels, so at combat rating 5, 10, etc., where you're increasing your health, your armor, your movement speed, and most essentially, your damage.
The first thing you're going to go after is combat rating 10. That is your very first damage upgrade. What that means is you're now ready to push into harder zones.
And then once you reach level 60 of your combat rating, you've maxed out yourself as a soldier. And so you've actually fully filled out 3 skill tracks and kind of really defined what this operator is in its final form.
Endgame has 4 escalating zones of difficulty, which means more toxin, more enemies, harder challenges, and better rewards.
As soon as you progress your operator and completed what you wanted to, you go to an exfil location, you need to hold out, you need to clear the exfil and let a VSOL drop, and then finally exit the map.
Because if you don't make it out, that progress doesn't come with you. And the only thing you take is the experience you learned.
As long as you escape alive, you're gonna keep your combat rating, you're gonna keep all the weapons and equipment you have, so you can come into the next match and continue exactly where you left off.
And for the first time ever, for campaign, we have a full camo track, daily challenges, weekly challenges that can be earned both through campaign and endgame.
Endgame is something that the team's really excited about. This is evolving the campaign experience, and we can't wait for you all to get your hands on it when Black Ops 7 goes live.
Now, the first thing I want to note that's interesting that I noticed is we see Kevin Drew here, and a lot of Endgame marketing in general so far, where he's named as a design director at Treyarch in general, as opposed to specifically for the Zombies mode. Kevin also appears to be a lead developer of some sort behind Endgame, which you can definitely see because, in my opinion, there is a lot of Modern Warfare Zombies DNA in this mode. It's definitely interesting because this mode, at least to me, feels almost like an MWZ2 of sorts, but with the extraction shooter elements of it definitely toned down quite a bit. As well, we have additional visuals for objectives and such, which also definitely feels like they looked at Modern Warfare Zombies, and even by extension Outbreak, and sort of tweaked elements that didn't really work with some people, or didn't really work in general for them. Something interesting to note on the side that came up shortly before the recording of this video is that the data pack for campaign and endgame for Black Ops 7 on consoles is referred to as Worlds Collide, which I feel could perhaps indicate it was envisioned as even more of a zombies meets campaign sort of thing, which may have been toned down slightly to tie more directly into the campaign. And this would also explain why Kevin Drew is directing the mode, seemingly. All in all, this definitely seems to me almost like a sort of attempt to add zombies-like replayability to the campaign, which I think is definitely a good idea. Now, the blog that was released alongside the Dev Talk actually goes into even more detail about the specific mechanics of Endgame, which we'll talk about now. Unlocked after completing the first 11 campaign missions, Endgame is a sort of co-op mode designed for 1 to 32 players in squads of 1 to 4. Very similar to Modern Warfare Zombies, Endgame and its main map, Avalon, are split up among 4 difficulty zones, filled with objectives that you complete with your squad. Now, in a major change from the Modern Warfare Zombies formula, instead of loadouts working with extraction shooter mechanics, you are given a full loadout at the start of each match. These loadouts consist of a main weapon, a melee weapon, a field acquisition, which is said to be a weapon that you find in a previous endgame match and exfil with, and a piece of equipment. It's also mentioned here that weapon rarity will be a mechanic, likely similar to how it works in Zombies, if I had to guess. You're also given the ability to pick a major and minor ability, which to me definitely reads pretty similarly to how field upgrades work in Zombies, but not exactly the same. It's also stated that you'll be able to power up these abilities in-game to presumably make them more efficient, but that if you're killed in a match, you will lose these upgrades. We're also given a list of these abilities, and some of them are pretty familiar, such as the hand cannon and war machine, which of course are usually score streaks in the other modes, and some of them, such as the active camo ability and crash cart ability, also definitely remind me of modern Zombies field upgrades, which does make sense given that Kevin Drew directed the mode. There's also some pretty good movement options here, such as the grappling hook, which sounds like it'll be obviously pretty similar to the grappling hook from Black Ops 4 and Black Ops Cold War, the kinetic jump, which appears to be that sort of boost jump-like ability that showed up in the initial Black Ops 7 reveal, as well as the flicker ability, which allows you to tap to quickly teleport a short distance in your facing direction, and goes through enemies, which sounds pretty similar to the teleport mechanic from the Dishonored games and Deathloop by Arcane Studios, if you're all familiar with those. We're also given an explanation of the new skill track system, which, if you've played a lot of video games, does sound like a pretty familiar skill tree system that you'll see in a lot of them, which is said to be upgraded as you complete objectives, uncover intel, and defeat enemies to increase your combat rating. We're also given brief explanations of the skill tracks in the game, such as the Gunner skill track, which seems to be focused on weapons, reloading, and armor plating. The Surgeon skill track, which seems to be more focused on regeneration and healing and revival. The Daredevil skill track, which seems to be more focused on quick movement, such as sliding, diving, and gliding. Tactician, which seems to be focused more on equipment. Berserker, which has a heavy focus on fast chain kills, but also gives you immunity to fall damage and an explosion after falling ability, pretty similar to PhD Flopper. And finally, Bulldozer, which seems to be focused on reducing damage to yourself and others. There's also a brief segment discussing progression, which, as with the other modes, is unified across all modes in Black Ops 7. Something interesting to note, which is also stated in the dev talk and in the blog here, is that you will be able to choose your operator in Endgame, including characters from the campaign and, as you can see in the blog, even the zombies crew, which makes me wonder if there'll be any, perhaps, story dialogue or anything like that, similar to what Blackout had in Black Ops 4. And to top off the blog, we're given another quick explanation as to how the base gameplay loop in Endgame works. You pick operators, deploy them into Avalon, and complete objectives to level up and get items, and then exfil before the match timer runs out, similar, again, to Modern Warfare Zombies. All in all, this mode does sound like a pretty interesting evolution of Treyarch's prior forays into open-world gameplay, albeit now as its own thing instead of specifically a zombies mode, which should avoid some of the inevitable round-based versus outbreak discourse that has been the topic of much discussion the past few years. Be sure to let us know what you think of all this, and if you're excited to play Endgame when Black Ops 7 launches on November 14th. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more coverage.
To conclude this video, I want to shout out the fact that I finally decided to make a Patreon and Cameo account, both of which will be linked below if you want to help support the channel. On Patreon, you can sign up for the lowest tier of just $1.50 a month to get exclusive access for my Discord, where we can discuss zombies lore, trivia, or whatever you desire. A place where you lot, my community, can better connect. Your names will also appear at the end of videos thanking you. For $5.50 a month, you get all of that, and I will be doing exclusive monthly Q&As. And for $16.50 a month, you again get all of that, and I will be doing exclusive lore videos, such as unpacking niche parts of the Treyarch documents I've been breaking down on my channel that don't as much suit a main channel video. For the highest tier, only for those with the ability to and who really want to help out the channel, you get special bonuses I've yet to determine and verbal shoutouts at the end of every video. Over on Cameo, I can do funny videos reading lines from zombies, memes like how do we tell him, birthday wishes for friends or family, or whatever else you desire, practically anything. Of course, none of this is necessary, just watching and enjoying the videos helps me immensely and I greatly appreciate it. However, I think it's about time I start setting up additional revenue streams because Zombies' popularity is tumultuous and always goes through ups and downs. As I'm sure you've lately seen on the channel, viewership is down a lot, we go through big highs when new games release, but then during these drought periods, I need more income stability so I don't have to worry as much about it and I can focus more on improving the quality of the content. My highest quality videos are not always the ones that best please YouTube algorithms, so instead, this way I can produce my best work knowing I don't have to think as much about how well the content's going to perform. So if you'd like to support me on Patreon for exclusive content or would like a simple Cameo message, you can do so to further support me via the links below, but only if you can afford it and you actually want to help me. Don't feel like you are forced to, don't worry, I'll survive. It would just help relieve some of the pressure during inconsistent periods on the channel, so I don't have to solely rely on AdSense revenue and still maintain the sheer quantity and quality of content that I put out. Obviously, I pump out literally a boatload of content, and some of these are absolutely crazy projects over hour-long videos, so it's a lot on my plate, especially when these videos don't perform particularly well. And I've not been doing many sponsorships lately to help supplement revenue either, so it would greatly help. Thank you for any generous person once again who does kindly support the channel. It means the absolute world and will really help keep this boat afloat.